I wish we had a drink. Wait, no, we might coffee.
Checkers. They have a T-Pain meal.
Really?
At Checkers.
What's even at Checkers anymore?
I don't know. I've been there twice. Burgers. You know people call them chicken burgers? The fuck is that? A chicken sandwich, bitch?
Chicken burger? They lost their damn minds. I've never once said in my life, "Oh, I want a chicken burger."
I don't know, bro.
It's a chicken sandwich.
I haven't seen that so much. I'm
really?
Like, the fuck is that? I've never.
That's crazy. I think it's safe to say that we definitely have like the most random drinks on this episode.
So far.
Or on this podcast.
Yeah. I got a root beer. Root beer.
I have like a 3-hour-old latte that I just shit my brains out from. And I'll probably do it again halfway through the podcast.
Alright, we don't have that much time on this camera.
What was that noise?
Mine.
Oh. I don't know what that was.
Like I farted?
Yeah, no. Yes. Like Johnny said, we don't have that much time today. But it is what it is. It be what it be. And we're here. Y'all should see our setup. You will see our setup.
This shit's ghetto.
So bad.
Y'all are on some boxes.
So Keenan took Callie to his mom's house so that we could record. He took everything with him. He took the camera battery.
The light.
The tripod.
The tripod.
So you guys are on a stack of boxes on my office chair. We have a fucking sun lamp that I got from Naki's room.
In this basket.
And literally in this little basket, I have my fucking selfie light behind the camera. Yeah, it actually looks crazy, but it works.
It works. You work with what you got, okay?
No, literally, I think the only difference that you might see is that, like, the lighting isn't, like, how it usually is, but it whatever. I hope we still look good. It's fine.
The hair flip.
I've been seeing, bro, first of all, that reminds me, I always see, like, Ariana Grande doing that shit.
No, literally.
For like, the Wicked, like, the premieres and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen her, like, she'll walk up, she'll be like...
No, I think she's so cute. Everybody's so mean online. They're like, why the fuck is she crying in every clip? I'm like, bro, this is her dream.
Bro, this has been happening. They said they've been working on this for like 3 years,
yeah.
I think, and this has been her dream since she was a little girl. Like, what the fuck? I'd be crying every time I got interviewed,
y'all
too.
would never see me smile. Like,
no, but did you see, like, the memes going on where, like, she's, like, holding Cynthia's finger?
Her finger?
Or, like...
like, wiping each other's tears.
No, I know. People
I don't know.
Weird,
I think it's cute. Honestly.
Every time people are like, what the fuck is wrong with them? I'm like, just leave them be.
Like, they're doing something they want to do.
They're doing something fucking amazing. They did something amazing. First of all, I still haven't seen Wicked. I actually really want to see it.
We have to go.
We do.
We have
I
to
think
go.
we talked about
it, and I want to go. But it's been busy. I feel like we've been busy. Yeah. I'm also broke.
Same.
You know?
Wait! I have to show you. Don't hear this. I was vlogging earlier. Oh, that's me from, like, a long time ago. Why am I there? Wait, where is it? Fuck! I hate this new iPhone setup. That's not it, either. Where is it? Bro. Please follow us. We're just two young mamas trying to make it out the hood, you know. I was vlogging, and that's the first thing that came to my mind, because I was like, that's really what it is.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Can't tag us in a TikTok post, but you know what? I'm going to comment underneath that shit saying follow us.
We're just two mamas trying to make it out the hood.
God. If that ain't the truth.
No, I know.
My back already hurts.
We should come on here next time with, like, back braces.
No, literally.
Or, like, the neck brace.
Neck brace. Like, hey, guys.
Like, what the fuck happened to
Like,
these
looking
bitches?
over like this. I'm Johnny.
I'm Rach. We do this
Before
every time.
we forget.
Every time.
And this is...
A Young Milf Podcast.
Yes.
Hey.
The titties.
Every time. Girl, you so shake up.
Shake what your mama gave you. Not much.
Not much, but it's there. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
today...
Yes.
What are we doing today?
I don't know.
Oh, you lost it? See, that happened to me last time. No, that happened to me a couple times.
No, you're like, it lost me. No, I lost it.
It's gone. It went away.
Elvis has left the building.
No, literally. I was somewhere else in that moment. I don't know where I went. That happens a lot, though.
I feel like I'm under pressure right now, so I'm like...
Every time, so it feels like whenever you want to talk about something, it's like, I don't know, you feel like you need to blurt it out, but then it's just, like, not there when you want to talk about it.
And you just sound dumb.
Every time. But you guys love us anyway, and that's all that matters. Love you. Mwah. So today we're here to talk about the community of mothers on social media and everybody just speaking up on what they've been going through and just how we've been feeling. I mean, shit, like, how are you doing? Like,
Right.
I'm
Are
okay.
you good?
No, like, I'm like barely hanging on, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
We wanted to speak about the communities of mothers, soon-to-be mothers, mothers of adults at this point,
Right.
mothers in general, okay?
Mamas,
all you mamas out there, and how we've seen so many women come to social media and talk about the real life issues and feelings and emotions and all the things they've been going through on social media, TikTok, Instagram. I mean, we've seen it all. You've probably seen it. I mean,
you've probably experienced it.
Yes, you probably experienced it. We're like, damn, I can relate to that. And I mean, that's why we do what we do. We always say that, you know, we want to be a part of that huge community. We want to build more community around it. And I think I've always said, I think it's so great that mothers have been able to come to the social media platforms to speak on things that don't get spoken about as often as they should be. Mm-hmm. And there's just a couple videos that I think we've both come across over the past, I don't know, couple months, couple weeks, whatever it may be, that really, you know, caught our eye or touched us in a way. And, you know, I guess we just wanted to talk about that today.
I've been seeing a lot of moms basically feel like they can't be and do what they want to do because they are a mother. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, we can relate on so many levels.
So many.
So many. But I think something I always reply to or say in the comments is like, self-care is childcare. It is not selfish to want to put yourself first. It's not selfish to do something with your life that you've always wanted to do or try something new or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. I think I saw a video recently of this woman talking on a podcast, I'm pretty sure, about how the happiest children, the ones that are most successful, have the happiest mothers.
Real shit.
And that can look so different for every person, what happiness means to you.
Right.
But I think as we kind of talked about this for like a second before the podcast started, but when women become mothers, they kind of just are in that mom mode. It's like, I'm a mother, I need to provide, I need to take care of them, I need to be there for my child. And they kind of leave themselves on that back burner and don't allow themselves to go through the process of losing the old version of you and finding the new one. It is like this, it's a roller coaster, honestly, you know, like you go from who you were before to being pregnant, and that's a whole stage in itself, then having the child in the beginning, then after, you know, the kid's a little bit grown and you have to like live in that, you lose yourself. Yeah. And there's a lot of women that are just very unhappy and don't know how to find happiness and don't know what they even enjoy. That's a big thing too. Like, moms don't know what they like.
Right.
They just know they have to be there for their kid and provide and whatever that means. But it's like, you're a person too, you know? Like, you're also, I think something that's really important to say is like, you're re-raising yourself while you're raising this brand new human being. Mm-hmm. And it's hard.
Yeah. It is hard. And like you said, it is a roller coaster of emotions and feelings, and a big part of going through that process is honestly grieving the person that you once were before you became a mother. And that's okay. I feel like grieving is a great word to use because that's really what it is. It's like, you know, just like when you lose a loved one or you lose a friend, I know for myself, I sit here all the time and think about who I was before I got pregnant, before I had Callie, all the time. Literally, I look at pictures, I look at videos, like, it's just something I do. And it's literally like, it literally is a grieving process. And you have to go through that grief in order to find some healing, honestly, because you're never going to be that person that you once were before you had a child. You're not. I see a lot of women talk about how they feel like they lost their spark, they lost their light. That's a big thing too. But honestly, over time, I feel like as long as you're able to do the things that make you happy, even in motherhood, you can regain that spark and that light again. Yeah. It's not like it just went away completely. It just kind of faded a little bit. Yeah. And that's just because you became a brand new person.
Right.
Your mind completely altered when you got pregnant. Everything shifts. Completely everything. It's an instinct for your body, for your mind to do these things. And you know, it's a beautiful process, yes, but also it can be very harmful to our minds, because while we're taking care of this new baby and then trying to take care of our new selves, we're grieving who we once were. And you know, like I said, I think whatever you're able to do that makes you happy, whether it's take yourself out, get your nails done, go shopping, spend some time with friends, you know, get away from the baby for a couple hours, that's okay. You can do that. Or even just do the things that you want to do. If you like to create. If you like to spend time at whatever job you have, and let that be the time that you want away from whatever's going on at home, let that be that too. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it, because that's how you're able to take care of yourself. And then when you're happy, your baby can be happy, and you guys can be happy together, and then you will get that light back. You'll get your spark back.
I think something that mothers feel like they need to do, and I think we talked about this in our last episode, is like, you need to put on this mask of like, okay, my baby's around, so I can't cry. I see a lot of that online. People being like, don't cry in front of your kid. And it's like, first of all, bitch, I'm a person too.
Right.
Don't act like because I have I can't speak right now. A child came out of my fucking vagina that I just became this fucking superhero or whatever.
Right.
First of all, superheroes have feelings too, bro. They be depressed as fuck. I don't know if you reading, like, if you be looking into this, the superheroes are sad. They be going through the worst shit. But think about that. Is that not you?
Right.
Like, are you not that?
Right. You're allowed to still let the tears out. Like, it's not like you're supposed to just like be this like superhuman and just like forget all of your emotions and just be like a blank slate when you push a baby out. Like,
right.
No, like, you know how many times I've sat there sobbing while Callie was screaming? Like,
right.
I just did it 2 days ago. No lie. Like, I still feel things. I still get frustrated. I still get depressed. I'm still sad. Like, I'm overwhelmed. I'm gonna show it, and I can't, like, for you to hold it back, it's just gonna put weight on your shoulders.
Right.
Like, it's just gonna feel like the world is weighing on you. Like, I know how it is to hold things in for too long, and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to let it out. And if crying, whether it's in front of your baby or not, whatever, you're allowed to cry.
Yeah.
It's not like you're being a bad mom because your baby's seeing you cry. You can communicate to your child, you know, as when they are old enough to understand too, or over time, like, listen, mommy's upset right now. Mommy's overwhelmed. I need a minute alone. You know, I just need some space. I feel like over time, if you're able to communicate that to your child, especially from a young age, they'll understand, and then they can also take that with them for future purposes and be able to tell people in their life in the future, hey, I need a second.
Yeah.
I need space, because they learned it from their mom.
Right.
You know?
Just healthy communication, setting boundaries, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, there's nothing wrong with feeling how you feel in front of your kid.
Right.
I don't think there's a problem, because at the end of the day, it shows them that they are human. Like, you're as human as they are.
Literally.
You are. It's not like there's some divide. I think people think, or mothers think, or whoever think that because you're the adult that you have to be the adult.
Right.
Which for some reason is associated with like having your shit together.
No.
Like,
we never do. And it's like, you know, I guess you can take on like what people say about, like, you know, they're like, oh, I want to be a role model for my child. I want to be this. I want to be that. I want them to see me do this, and that, whatever. Being a role model also includes, you know, you showing them that, like, it's okay to feel things. Like, it's okay to show emotion. It's okay to express yourself, whether that's crying, yelling, whatever. Like, you're allowed to do those things because you have to get it out, and that's the only healthy way to do it.
Right.
You know?
You don't want them to feel like because they feel these big emotions that there's something wrong with them.
Right. I feel like a lot of people that I know have gone through something like that in their childhood, where they feel like they can't express themselves, because that really does lead into your adulthood.
Yeah. Like,
people carry that with them through their life. If you're shown early in childhood that, you know, say a kid's crying and their parents be like, stop crying. Like, like you're not supposed to cry.
I'll give you a reason to cry.
Right.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
I
Crazy,
hated that
bro.
growing up. What the fuck do you mean?
Like, or like, suck it up, like, and then you just shut down, and then that's when you just become like, the mask just comes on, you know? Like, no, like, you're allowed to get it out.
Right. Especially, like, for boys.
Oh, that is a huge thing.
It's such a big thing. I hate, because I'm a boy.
You're a boy mom.
I hate when someone tells me that he's acting like a girl, or he needs to man up, or stop being a chump.
Like,
what the fuck? You? First of all, to me, that's toxic masculinity.
I got you, girl.
I can never say this word. Thank you.
I got you.
I can never say that word.
I know.
But to me, that's toxic as fuck, because you also go through these things, but when you don't let them out, they come out in ways of anger, of violence. Yes. That tends to be a thing, and granted, that's not for everybody, right? But for the people who don't know how to feel their feelings, we've all seen that. How that comes out in the most craziest negative ways, and it's like, bro, like, when they're good, they're good. When they're not, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it's them internalizing those things and it coming out in like some nasty ways sometimes. And it be on social media, it be in real life. Like, there's always something going on with, and it doesn't even have to be just a man either. That could be for both genders. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Literally everything you learn as, you know, as a baby through childhood, you take that with you through your entire life. Like, so if you're taught to shut up, stop crying, suck it up, you're gonna think that as far as you know, as long as you go on through your life, like, that's what you're gonna hold on to in your subconscious mind. Yeah. Like, maybe you might not even think twice about it. It's just something that your mind just does. Yeah. You know? And I think, you know, as parents, it's very important for us to realize that, you know, one day our children are going to be adults. And, you know, we have to become very aware of the things we do, the things we say, how we react, how we respond to them, how, like, just, I don't know, just how we are as people, because that's what they will take on through their life. Right. You know, and it's not like you have to be walking on eggshells. We all fuck up. Like, we all mess up as mothers. I have. Yeah. Like, I've screamed at my baby and I didn't want to. That happens. I get overwhelmed. I get frustrated. But then it's like, okay, take a step back, baby. This is why that happened. Okay, I'm frustrated. I'm overwhelmed. I need a second. You know, that's what I think should happen. Yeah. You know, instead of, or like say she's frustrated. She's overwhelmed. She's crying because, like, I'm not understanding her. She's not understanding me. She wants something I can't give her, whatever it is. No, she doesn't really know how to communicate that to me yet, but I'm trying with her. And over time, hopefully, she will be able to tell me, Mommy, I'm frustrated because of X, Y, and Z. She even tells me now, like, even when she is having her tantrums, I think you've heard it too. She'll come up and she'll say, I'm angry. Maybe she doesn't really necessarily know how to communicate why she's angry, but she lets me know the feeling she's feeling, which I think is a good step. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, that's important. Again,
that's why self-care is so important to being a mother. And self-care doesn't mean what we probably thought, you know, like when we were younger, like, oh, face mask and a bath.
Go to the spa.
Right. That's great. And that might feel like self-care in that moment when you have time for those things, but self-care is something you can do all day long. You know, I do this all the time, and I've talked about it before. Talking to yourself is one of the best ways to know yourself, because at the end of the day, there has to be a point where you stop bullshitting. You have to be honest with yourself. That is a big, big thing in order to grow into the person that you want to be, because if you're not real with yourself, there is no way you can move past that wall. Like, you have to get over it. There has to be a point where you're like, okay, I do this wrong. I get upset over these things. Why? And then you have to dive deeper into the things. Why did this make me upset? And it's like, it's literally like therapy for yourself. Like, sitting there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I do this shit for like 25 minutes, and I record these conversations that I have with myself. If someone else heard me, they're like, who the fuck is she talking to in her room? Bitch, me.
Right.
Because I know me the most.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like, when I'm going through something, when I feel great about something, when I am depressed, like, when I'm anxious, I will talk myself through these things. And by the end of it, I feel like a weight is lifted off my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy when I don't do these things. When I go a period of time without doing them, I feel it. And I feel it especially when I'm in motherhood, when I'm parenting.
Right.
Because I'm, like, so, like, agitated. I'm so easily, like, ticked off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, something's off here. And it's because I've been letting things build up to the point of, like, now I just can't even control what I'm saying, what I'm doing, because I hadn't had that time to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important. And, you know, our kids, we tend to think that we have so much time until they, like, actually, like, are able to, like, you know, do these things on their own. Do you know, by the age of 5, your child has their personality completely figured out? The age of 5.
Wow.
That is crazy, because you know how many of us are dealing with things that we learned when we were 5 years old?
Right.
20 years ago, but from a lot of people?
Yeah.
And now we have to, like, unlearn these things that we've dealt with our entire lives. A lot of people never do that.
Right. They just kind of accept it.
No, I know. Don't be one of those people. Like, I'm being so real. Like, if you really want true happiness, whatever that means for you, and if you don't know what that means, the time is now to figure it out. Mm-hmm. Before you're completely stuck in your ways. And even then, there is a way to help yourself, but it gets a lot harder as time moves on to fix these things.
Yeah. I think it is very possible to, like, be able to rewire your brain. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many videos on this kind of stuff, like, talking about the subconscious mind, and even, like, a place higher than that.
Yeah.
Like, the 5th dimension. Mm-hmm. Like, literally. And I go deep into that spiritual shit. And, you know, it's very, very possible. But I think, like you were saying, connecting with yourself, figuring out what you have to do for yourself in order to be the happy person that you want to be, or do the things that you want to do, or be the mother that you want to be, whatever it is, you need to literally dive deep into yourself and work it out. Mm-hmm. Because nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Like, people can give you advice 24/7. You could be reading stuff online, you know, saving stuff. I do that stuff all the time. I just screenshot, yep, that I like that one.
Yeah.
All the time. But, you know, is it going to sit on your phone? Is it going to sit in your notebook, or are you going to actually do something? You know, like and it's not like, you know, it's not going to come easy. It's like a baby step kind of process. Yeah. It doesn't, you really have to, like, work for it and really want it. I feel like I think when I was just watching this video about, like, that whole, like, talking about, you know, the mind and the subconscious mind and whatever, and this lady was talking about, like, it's like almost like you're looking at yourself in a mirror, and, like, you know, there's your physical being and then the image that you see. And it's almost like, if you're able to see the person that you want to be, or the things that you want in that image in the mirror, like, but it's not in your physical being, there's a way you can learn how to grasp that and become what you're looking at. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it really all does tie in with the self-care, because self-care can be so many things. It can be the material things, but it also is, like, this full-on, like, deep spiritual, like, energy shifts. Taking care of yourself first, I think, is probably one of the most important things you can do as a mother, and for you to be able to feel good about yourself and taking care of your baby, and honestly accepting yourself as the new mother you are. Yeah. That's a big thing. It's huge.
Right. Like, you went through a really big change. You lost the old version of you. Like, that isn't something that is just like, oh, it's fine now. Like, no, bro. Like, you're a completely different person. Your life is completely different, and your purpose is almost completely different. The reason that you're living right now is completely different. Like, it's not just you. It's not just about what you want, and we know that, which is why we're talking about how self-care is childcare. Because those things tie into each other. They are the same thing. And don't let anyone tell you that it's not.
No. I feel like people will tell you that, you know, once you become a mother, like, you're supposed to have it all together. And you're really not. And I don't know what it is that has brought that idea of mothers being these, like, superficial, like, robots, like, throughout the generations. But that's kind of what has happened. I mean, I think we've mentioned this before, how it's like, you know, back in the day, the men would go to work and the women would stay home with the babies, and they'd cook and clean and be mothers all day long, and repeat day after day. It would be like the same thing. And I think maybe that ties into something like that. Like, they kind of just had to, like, put on this mask and become that thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, you don't really have time to process what really just happened to you. And, you know, along with, like, what happens in, like, postpartum, you know, you go through postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis. I mean, there's a whole range of stuff that happens postpartum to women. And, you know, I think it's only right that we're able to do the things that we want to do for ourselves. Because what? we just went through an entire life transition that men would never understand. Like, never.
Yeah. And I think something that's being a little bit normalized on social media right now is, like, the type A mom and the type B mom. I'm type B as fuck. and I know I am. And I never even understood, like, what type of mom I was until I saw those videos. I was like, oh my god, that's so me. Like, when your kids are looking a fucking mess and the house is a mess and, like, you're eating, like, anything you can find in the fucking fridge, and it's like, it's not organic, and it's the kids aren't all put together, and I'm not all put together. And honestly, like, I think it makes it more fun just to, like, not be so, to be honest, I would love to be the person that's, like, well-rounded and everything's beautiful and clean and great.
Right.
But that's just not me. And honestly, I think if I tried really hard to be that person, I think that's when I would fall into a place of not being truly there for myself. And maybe that's not the case for these women. Maybe they have it all figured out, and I love that for them. But for me, but for me, I'm okay that there's toys on the floor. Right. There's a fucking child living here. I'm okay that I haven't, you know, I don't think I cleaned the fucking tub this week. Like, fuck, I need to do it, but it'll get done.
So real.
Not, like, I'm okay with that. And, like, I'm not gonna stress myself out over this. Like, nah, bro, like, you know, like, yesterday, I went to go see my friend in New Jersey, and we literally sat there and ate a whole fucking tray of a shrimp cocktail. Like, and we're just, like, watching stupid-ass YouTube videos. And I'm like, this is fun. I love this.
Love that.
Instead, I could have been at home, like, scrubbing the tub, like, oh my fucking god. Right. Like, and the thing is, I say this because I do live with a parent who is, I think, very type A and very controlling, and again, still living with a parent that I've lived with my entire life. I'm kind of, like, over that lifestyle because I've grown up with it my entire life. Like, I remember literally being a child and I couldn't leave the crib until I cleaned, and then until when I cleaned, it was too late, so I couldn't go out. And then it was, like, always a thing. Spring break, everyone's going on vacations and living their best life. No, we're cleaning. We're doing spring cleaning. We're scrubbing the walls. We're literally wiping the ceiling.
Oh my goodness. And
to me, I'm like, the fuck? And I just talked about this with my sister because, like, I was like, am I tripping, or was this kind of crazy that we just couldn't, like, just be kids? And when you allow there to not be as much structure, right? Because granted, my kid's not running around looking like he's homeless.
But what child has structure? They're children.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, he's 4 years old.
Right.
Like, it's like...
I don't care that he has a bunch of toys. I'll go through it eventually and get rid of a bunch of them. But, like, right now, he's chilling. It's not like he's like, Mommy, we need to go through my toys and get rid of my stuff. No. We need to clean my room this type of way. Like, no.
I'm so big on let kids be kids.
Yeah.
You don't have to give them this, okay, we do this. Like, no. Like, just you know, of course, it's okay to be on routine, but just let them be. Let them be kids. They don't have to grow up too fast or be strict on cleaning or whatever it is, or I don't know. You know, just let them live out their childhood.
Yeah. And, like, let yourself not feel that pressure. Like, you
Right.
already have the pressure of the world. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm constantly thinking about the future and making sure that I set us up so that, you know, we are good. Because I don't want to be the person that struggles every day, you know? I do, but the thing is, I also want to do what I want to do. And I mean, I talked about it before, but like, I do videography, photography, and this year I'm really trying to push myself as an artist, which is like something that to anybody, parent or not, is hard as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no guarantee in that. I didn't go to, I mean, I went to school, but.
Hello? Are they moving furniture? I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. Go
You're
ahead.
good. I went to school, but I never finished school because school wasn't for me. I don't have a structure in my life. Like, okay, I got this degree, and then I go and get this internship, and then I get this job, and then I move up to this position, and like, you know, everything's planned out in that way. No, there's actually no guarantee in my future at all, and that is fucking terrifying as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
As a person alone, as a parent is scary because I have no other option.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of my biggest things that just eat away at me every single day, that stress me out, that keep me up at night. You know what I mean? Like, it's something like that. Now, I know everyone doesn't choose that lifestyle and, you know, chooses to get a job and whatever, and that's great. And honestly, sometimes I wish that was me because it would make things so much easier.
Right, but you can't force it.
That's not who I am.
It might make things easier, but you'd be becoming somebody that you're not.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's so special about this, because like, regardless of the future or the situation you're in, you're staying true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that could easily be like forgotten about, because you might be worried so much about, oh, like, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, but no, like, but I know what I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a really big thing. And you know, there's people out here who want to go to school, and they want to get a regular job, or they want to become a doctor, whatever the case may be, and that's what they want from themselves. Though you want something completely different, and that's okay. And you might not know how you're gonna get there, but you're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, you being a mom is like, it's a whole next level thing, because you're not just, you don't just have the ability to just la-di-da all the time and do what you gotta do. No, you, like, one of your priorities is being a mother too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel you on that, though, because I also think about the future a lot, and I also didn't go to school, and I dropped out. Like, that's a big thing for me too. So I completely get it, where it's like, you think about years from now and you're like, fuck, like I want to be able to afford good insurance. Like, I don't have that stability in that. I don't have that guarantee. I don't have a job that's going to offer me insurance. I don't have that.
Right.
And like, I got taxes to pay. Like, I you know, it's like, I have a lot going on, and I just think about, like, okay, if I was still, say I never dropped out of college, I would never have gotten to this point in my life where I was actually doing the things that I love to do. You know, like pushing myself completely out of my comfort zone for a whole, what was that, almost 2 years, just to get signed as a model, which is something I always wanted. And then here I am, damn near 5 years later, after being signed. First of all, I don't even know how this much time has passed, which is fucking crazy.
I just got chills, bro.
I
don't know what the fuck that
is. It's like, I held on to that for so long, and I pushed for it, and I worked for it, and then it happened, and then I became that. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm still doing what I love to do, but I'm like, I need more for myself. That's the point, because I also want that stability. I want the financial stability. I want all the things, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I might not have those things right now, but let me just make sure that I'm happy right now, at least, so that I can be a good mom.
Yeah.
Like, because if I'm in the trenches, I'm gonna be in the trenches in motherhood, because I notice it. I notice the difference, honestly. Like, when it's like times where I'm like feeling very worried about the future, I'm overthinking things, I'm sad about my relationship or whatever it may be, I see how it affects how I am as a mother. Like, when I'm with Callie, like, I'm more on edge, I'm more snappy, I'm more like, yo, like, don't be doing that. Like, I'm, you know what I mean?
Impatient.
So impatient with her, and I feel bad because I'm like, fuck, like, she just doesn't understand. And it's just because I'm not being patient enough with her because of the fact that I'm overwhelmed by all these things going on in my brain at the same time.
Right. You're not being patient with yourself.
No, exactly. So that it literally all ties into how you treat yourself first is how it's going to reflect to you as a mother.
Right. Like, we say this, I think, in every podcast. I mean, you know what I'm about to say. Yes, you have to give yourself that grace. No, literally. We say this every single time. Because it's in everything that we do as mothers. You have to.
Slow down.
Yes. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be in a rush. Everything doesn't have to be put together right now. It's okay that shit's a mess. Mm-hmm. We said it last time. Bless this mess.
Yes, ma'am.
Because, you know, a mess means it's actually lived in. You know, it shows that it's not just this display, you know? You don't have to be a fucking display, bitch.
What they be saying, clock it? Is that what they be saying? Nathi does that.
Does she say that?
She goes, clock it. Whenever I say something that's like good or like, she's like, clock it.
Not like period?
I guess so. But it's a thing. She's like, I'm like, is that like a new thing? She's like, well, yeah, you don't know what that means? Because I was talking to her one day and she was like, and I was like, what is that?
What's that mean?
It was either this finger or this finger. I forget. But she was like, and I'm like, Nathi, what is that? She was like, clock it. I'm like, huh? She's like, no, like, period. I'm like, but what is that? She's like, oh, you don't know that? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, like, where you been? I'm like, not here. I don't know. Like, y'all got your own little, I don't know. I felt so old in that moment. Though.
Right.
I was like, oh, there's a new thing that I don't know about.
I feel that so much. We've all walked past a display window or, like, through an IKEA. And, you know, like, it looks like a home.
Right.
But that shit, you lay on that bed, that shit hard as fuck. That shit not real.
Dead ass.
The plant's fake.
Fake as hell. I think every home, every family it's never ever perfect, bro. Ever. Like, I don't know, people, I feel like some people will only let you see what they want you to see, because deep down there could be stuff going on. Like listen, people come in my house all the time and you know, they talk about like how amazing and sweet my mom is all the time, and behind closed doors we be fighting. And that's the truth, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. It, like, what family doesn't fight? Like, that's just what it is, you know? I feel like everybody goes through some shit like that. Like, that's just kind of how life works out. Like, it's something you really can't avoid.
Right.
And, you know, as far as, like, it being a mess, it's gonna be a mess. And that's just, you know, what can you do about that?
Right. Nobody's living a perfect life, no matter what you see. Like, her mom literally came in here earlier talking about I always watch, like, these other moms online, and their life is just so perfect, and their houses are so clean, and everything like that, and you walked in, and you're like, Mom, that's just what you see.
My mom is very gullible with social media, because my mom's in her 60s, and she has Instagram, and she be online, and she like reads all the articles about celebrities, and did you hear about this celebrity who did this with this celebrity? I'm like, no, Mom, I didn't.
Right.
She gets so deep into it, and I think she just finds like I guess like it's like, I don't know, it's like watching a movie to her. She's like all into it and whatever, and like
she's invested
in their drama and their life. And oh, don't even get me started on like the Kardashians. She's like,
oh my god. Oh my god.
My mom will go on for hours about how I hate them and they're so fake. I'm like, Mom, they are business women.
They have an image to upkeep.
Yes, and that's just what the media does to you when you become a successful, famous person. Right. And I feel like anybody could say that, you know, like, who's in the industry. Like, okay, like, I'm a person, yeah, but this is my job. Mm-hmm. It's like, what do you mean? Like, it's like, that's what you want to do. And from that, look at how fucking successful they are. Right. Who am I to sit back and hate? Right. Fuck. Go ahead, girl.
Right. But I think that's like, you know, everyone's watching these things online of people who do have it all together. And it's like, don't be that gullible person that thinks like, and compares yourself to these things like, oh my God, I'm not doing enough. Oh my God, I need to do more. Bitch, you're in your 20s. Right. This is the time of your life to fuck up. Like, and anyone who's older will tell you that. This is the time of your life that you live. Living also means messing up. It also means doing things over and over and over again till you get it right. It means, like, you're going to move on from certain people in your life. You're going to lose the old version of yourself. You're going to rebuild the version of you that you want to be. We talk about this all the time. Like, what did I say? I always go back to things that I say because every time I look back, I'm like, damn, I was really spitting some shit.
No, you be talking that talk.
No, because I like metaphors because I feel like that's the best way for someone to, like, visualize what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah,
but it goes that way for so many things. Like, you can be happy. You can have yourself figured out. You can learn to love and care for yourself while you're a mother. Just because you're a mom does not mean that shit is not possible for you.
Right. It doesn't, like, it might feel like you're getting, like engulfed in motherhood, but in reality, like, you're still here, girl. Like, you haven't gone nowhere. It's you plus a baby now.
Yeah.
That's what changed. And, like, you need to, just like you're taking care of that beautiful, precious baby, take care of yourself because you are so beautiful and precious. Your mind still matters. You're, like, you can't just let her go forever.
Yeah.
She's still here. You're still here.
And it's very easy to be comfortable in things that, like, don't really serve you anymore. And this is actually something I wrote down because it's, again, the metaphor type of thing. But you know how your home is very comfortable and, like, that's your home and that's where you spend a lot of your time. But if your home was on fire, would you still stay inside? And if the answer is yes, bitch,
bitch, get out.
You're insane. Obviously, you grab the important things, right? Right. And you run out the house. Use that for your life. If shit is on fire, bitch, if shit is not good, if you want more, if you're feeling like you've outgrown where you are, take the shit that you need, like the person that you are, the compassion that you have, the empathy that you have, the good things about you, take them with you and move on. Get out of there. And the thing is, it's gonna be hard because now you gotta look at that house that burnt the fuck down.
Right.
You're going to imagine all the memories and all the things that you've had in that home.
Yeah.
All the other things that you've lost. But guess what you still have? You still have you and you still have all those amazing things of who you are. Like, it is okay to move on. Again, hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Hard as shit.
You have to grieve, though. You literally have to grieve. That is a very important way of healing. Honestly, anybody can say that. Like, it's okay to do that.
And to feel is to heal. I say this to everyone who's going through something. Don't feel crazy. Don't feel stupid for crying or feeling a certain way towards something that doesn't serve you anymore or something that just you can't change. That's the inevitable. You know, it's okay to feel those things.
Right.
Understanding those feelings is probably the beginning of it. And I don't know if you know, like, there's stages to grieving. Just like anything. Once you go through those really hard things, the last thing is acceptance.
Right.
That's when you know, like, okay, like, I can do this. I'm fine without this version of me. And I'm someone who truly believes in, like, there's nothing in your life that you go through that isn't meant to happen. Everything that you've gone through, good and bad, was meant to happen. You know, I hear that a lot of the things like timeline shifts and stuff like that. Again, like the very spiritual stuff and
how everything's happening all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
There tends to be a thing that goes on when you do go through a timeline shift, per se, that everything is gonna go wrong. Everything's gonna feel ass. Like, it's gonna feel shitty. Just know you're on the brink of that shift.
Right.
For yourself and for your life. And it's your decision which direction you move, which timeline you jump to. The part of you that's healed and thriving and doing better, and the one that let that shit eat you alive. The one that stayed in that burning house and burned down with it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make these decisions. You are in control of your life. whether you think that or not, you need to somehow get yourself to the point of believing, like, you got it. You have everything that you need to be the person that you want to be. But it's so possible to be the person that you want, to feel the way that you want to feel, and it's going to take a while. I think the beginning of this year, or maybe halfway through last year, I went through a really rough last year. I lost my brother, and that, God, I don't know.
I know.
I don't.
It's okay. We feel, we heal. You can let it out.
Oh, I don't want to cry on this one.
When do we not cry? We always cry.
I know. But I lost my brother last year, and that shit, till this day, it's still really hard, as you can tell. But last year, that shit broke me down, like, completely. And I told myself, like, for me, like, I was gonna love myself this year, because I spent my whole life hating me, to be honest. I never liked any part of me. And this year has been a lot. It's been a lot. But I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for my son, and I'm also doing it for my brother, because he passed very young, and I don't know that he ever got to love himself and got to do what he wanted to do. Fuck. So I do what I do because I need to love me, you know? That shit it's hard, bro. And it's like, I'm still not over it, because how the fuck can you be? But every time that I think about something or doubt that I'm able to do something, I'm like, nah, bro. Gotta keep going, gotta push through. Like, there's no other choice.
Yeah. You're right.
Fuck.
You're fine. You're gonna be able to live out for him, honestly. Mm-hmm. Live out all of his wildest dreams. Like do the things you're doing just because you know that he wouldn't get to experience. Like, you are connected to him.
No, I truly believe it. I truly, truly do. And actually, the reason that I'm, like, actually starting to want to put out music, and I'm actually planning to do that for myself, is because growing up, like, we were always, like, in the church band, and he played the drums, and every time he would ask my dad, like, yo, like, who's singing at church today? And my dad would say me. He's like, oh, yeah, like, I gotta be playing the drums, because he just loved to be there with me. Mm-hmm. And, like, he liked to play the drums because he was fucking amazing, and he liked to do it with me. And he always, I could hear him every time I would, like, play music in my room, because his room's right across from mine. He would, like, within a few days, I'd hear the same exact songs being played from his room. And I'm like, bro, like, you get me. Like, you understand me. We have the same taste and shit. And he always loved my voice. And I went through a time that I didn't like my voice. I didn't like singing, and because I was just too hard on myself. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And I don't really care where it goes, to be honest. I don't care if no one listens. I'm doing it for me. And to me, that's my self-care. Mm-hmm. To me, like, doing what I want to do for myself, that's all that matters to me. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm gonna still be a mother at the end of the day, but just because I became a mom doesn't mean that what I want and what I need isn't important. While I was pregnant, I had a nurse come in. We're waiting for the doctor, and she's, like, in her 40s, and she was like, is this your first kid? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, I have a bunch of kids already. And she's like, can I give you some advice? And I was like, sure. Because I never, I'm always willing to listen. Mm-hmm. And she was basically like, she's like, listen, your kid will always be your baby, but one day they're going to grow up. She's like, and they'll move on and live their life. And you're going to be stuck with yourself, basically. And she's like, it sounds sad, I know. She said, whatever you do, for the sake of you and your child, never lose yourself, and always do what you want to do. Because she's like, I'm 40-something years old now, and I don't know who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's so sad.
But that's amazing for her to tell you that. Mm-hmm. Like, Wow.
Right? Because at the time I'm 21. Like
Right.
I'm still a kid to her, especially.
Right.
And for her to give me that advice, that's till this day, that is something that pops into my mind all the time. You know, never lose you just because your life changed.
Yeah.
You always have you, no matter what direction your life goes. The person and the thing that will always be with you is you, and your beliefs and your, you know, I mean, I don't know if everyone's spiritual or anything like that, but like God or the universe, like those things will always be with you every step of the way. So take care of those things.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Like understand that you are important, that you matter, that everything that you want is possible. If someone else can do it, then you can do it.
Right. I think that's really an amazing way to look at it, honestly, from what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to think about that one day our children are going to be grown up and they're going to go on to live their own lives and have their own kids one day. And it's going to be us in an empty nest again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to it's going to be like like we were before we had a baby. It's going to just be us again.
Mm-hmm.
And like, what are you gonna do if you just, you went through motherhood and you didn't take care of yourself and you didn't do the things you wanted to do for yourself, and then here you are with, your kids are all grown up and you're like, wait, what am I doing? That's I think that's a great way to look at it, honestly. That kind of just opened my eyes too.
Yeah, because you don't want to be the person that just made someone else their whole world, and that doesn't just have to be a child. That can also be a relationship.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
That could be a job. That could be a parent. That could be anything or anybody.
Yeah.
And you make them the center of your world.
And
Bitch, it's your world.
It becomes comfortable too, though.
Yeah.
It becomes like, something that you're comfortable doing, and you feel too, I don't know, whether it's like afraid or just too uncomfortable to step away from that thing or that person, because that's just kind of been what your life has been about for however long. And I'm thinking about my parents in this situation. My mom made us. I'm whispering because I don't know if they're right there, but
right.
My mom made me and my brother her world. And at the time when my grandparents were passing, she also made that her world, and it broke her down really bad. And when I ask my mom, my mom has been working at a phone call center for 25 years for Temple. I always wondered if she ever had like any dreams or aspirations, or like, because she never expressed that to us, or never really shown that she liked to do anything other than just go to work and come home. When I asked her one day, like, what was your dream? She told me that she didn't really have one. Yeah, she literally was like, I never really had one. And she was like, I just wanted to be a mom. And that was it. And I don't think it's kind of sad to think about it, because like my parents never really had anybody in their life like motivating them like we have. They never really had like a support group or a friend group or people around them doing like similar things like they were, to be able to be like we have very deep conversations about our lives and our futures, and we motivate each other heavily. I feel like all the time, and I'm very grateful for that. So I think about the life that my parents have lived out, because all it really is going to work and coming home. And that's really it. And my mom kind of lives through me. I see a lot. And then also now that she's a grandmother, she's made that her life.
Yeah.
Like that's her big thing. And if that's just what it is, that's just what it is. You can't really force anybody to, I guess, do things that they don't want to do, or like have a dream. But I feel like if you really do have one, if it's something that you think about all the time, don't just push it away. It's there for a reason. And just because you're going through something, or you're about to have a baby and you're afraid, or whatever, you're afraid how it's going to affect your life, I don't think you need to be afraid, because you're not going anywhere. You're still here, and that dream can still be here too. If you're still fully capable of achieving the things that you want to achieve.
Yeah. And you might need to find a different way of doing it, like comparing yourself to someone who has it all together, but like, what if they don't have kids? What if they don't have the same struggles that you have? Or like, things that you go through privately that no one really knows, or what do they what do they go through privately that like no one knows, you know? Like everyone's pushing through something, pushing through a barrier of something that could hold them back. And the thing is about when you do have something that you want for yourself, you have every option to do. You have two options basically. You either push through or you just stay back. Mm-hmm. And when you stay back, I feel as though that's when people feel like they can't be happy or they can't do something or whatever. But again, like I said, if someone else can do it, so can you. What is the difference between you and them? Mm-hmm. Besides the fact that they dedicate a lot of their time to doing something. You don't actually know how much time and effort goes into something until you're actually living and breathing that shit. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. And, bro, do whatever the fuck you want. If you want to start a podcast, start a fucking podcast. But that also means you gotta be doing that shit. Even when things are fucking crazy, you gotta put boxes up on a on a chair and some makeshift ass lights in a bedroom.
Yep.
And record some shit. Like, if you want to post to social media and be an influencer type of person, go do it.
Right.
Who cares if you get 2 views?
No, literally. I feel like if it's something that you really, really want, that you're holding on to in your life, you will do it no matter the means. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter the financial state you're in, no matter, like, when I tell you, I'm going to be real honest with y'all, I have gotten booked out in LA, and I've gone to LA with $100 to my name multiple times. So if that doesn't show what dedication is, because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, and that it's happened over these past 5 years multiple times. I've gone to New York City with $30 in my bank account, spent my last money on gas because I had to be there and I wanted to be there and I wanted to present myself to these people so I could book a job, literally, and it's worked out in a lot of cases. It has. So, please do it. Yeah. No matter what. Just do it.
And I'm sure a lot of women have those stories, too. Like, there's been times, bro, like, I've wanted to, like, I don't know, go do something with, like, my friends and my kid. And we're, like, on the way there, and he's like, I'm hungry. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have $8.
I know. No, I know.
I will spend those $8 on my child and starve.
Deadass. I've been there so many times where I'm telling you, like, I've it's been the case for, it's been times where, like, I've been down bad and I'm only eating what's, like, in the fridge here. We have 2 eggs left. I'm gonna give Callie 3/4 of the shit and be like, here's my little bit. This will be fine. This will keep me for the day.
Right.
Because, like, that's what matters. And you're gonna do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You're gonna do what you gotta do until you're able to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so possible, though.
No, yeah.
Everything that you want, even if that's not just, like, a crazy dream, like, you just want to feel okay in where you are, that is possible. Like, and again, going back to just, like, reflecting on yourself, just being there for yourself, talking to yourself, understanding yourself, understanding your triggers, like, understanding, like, what you need to, like, get rid of. Mm-hmm. And what's crazy is, like, sometimes people feel like, everything keeps happening to me, like, why does this keep happening? Bro, because you didn't learn yet. You didn't learn. That's what's crazy about life, is that you're going to be brought the same thing over and over and over again until you decide to be like, okay, listen, bro. This has to change. I can't be dealing with this anymore. And when it happens again and you deal with it in a way that doesn't affect you in the way it used to, that's how you know you did what you needed to do.
Right. Yeah, that's how you see that growth happen. Mm-hmm. You're like, wait a minute, something's happening here.
Yeah.
Something's in the air.
And it's okay for you to fall short sometimes. You know, the line isn't always like this. Sometimes that shit just dips down and you repeat things that you've done in the past but you'll catch on to it. Right. You will. We're still able to learn, even at this age, you know? Like, it's not because we've grown up means that we can't relearn or can't learn anything different or change our habits or whatever. Like, no. Like, you still got it. They say it's, like, 21 days to build a habit by 90 days? That's a part of who you are. Mm-hmm. You know how short of a span 90 days is compared to your life?
Right. No, literally.
And it's okay if some days out of those days you just don't got it in you.
Mm-hmm. You're never gonna be able to show up every day as the same on the same energy. Right. Honestly, I feel like that's very unrealistic. Yeah. Every day a new thing happens or something unexpected happens. Like you really can't control it.
Yeah. Like also know though that shit that happens isn't going to ruin everything.
Right. Right.
A bad day's not a bad life. And bad days are a bad life. You can have several bad days.
Hundreds of bad days.
Right. That's what I mean.
Literally.
When the perspective of like your life,
right.
That shit's nothing.
Is that phone?
Is that me? Keeps calling me.
Oh, is Romy here?
I don't know.
What's up? I'm on my way.
Hi, bud.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, baby butt.
I want to see you.
Yeah, you're on your way.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there in like a couple minutes.
Okay.
All
right. I think this is our last podcast of this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah. So like, I guess like with the new year, everyone does the same thing. You know, they're like, okay. Well, I don't know if everyone does, but I do.
A lot of people, I know. Yeah, a lot of people do
like,
it.
This year, I want to do this different.
New year, new me.
Right. Can we lock in?
Right.
Like let's actually, for yourself, not even like for us, like, but we're here telling you to do it. Figure out what you need and want for yourself this year and reflect on everything, good and bad, but also don't be afraid to like just be like, I did so many things this year, or I didn't do this many things this year, and that's okay.
Yeah, and if you need help reflecting, I think we're gonna have a little New Year episode where we reflect ourselves, and you can reflect right with us, girl.
Yes, because regardless of what you've done or haven't done, you did your best with what you could in the moment. You did what you could, and obviously you can always do better,
right,
or do more, but that's not what happened, and that's okay. So don't worry about it, but also let's just, you know, for the sake of yourself and your child, figure it out what you need to do differently this year, what you want to change, or what habits you want to make, or whatever.
Right.
It doesn't have to always involve your child.
No. Think about yourself.
Yes. Self-care is child-care.
And try your best. That's really all you can do.
Yes.
You're not going to be perfect. There's going to be bad days. You might fall off the schedule or fall off the routine, and that's okay. But remember, just come back to you. Just be like, okay, I need to get a hold of this. And, you know, because I know that's what I have to do for myself this upcoming year.
Yeah. I did like a big reflecting the other day, and I was like, damn, I kind of did a lot. But I also didn't do as much as I wanted or I had planned, because I had gone back and looked at last year's like goals and stuff. But I was like, you know what, this year has been a lot for me mentally, and even while I was going through that, I still did a bunch of things. And I'm proud of myself. And that's a big thing, is just expressing gratitude for what you have done. That is one of the most important things for growth.
Yeah.
For being better. It's like you can't, if you're not grateful for what you have now, then you cannot be grateful for what you're going to get, because then you're going to get to that point and be like, well, I didn't do this, this, and that. And it's like, nah, bro, you did a lot.
Yeah.
Even if that was take care of a child, that is a lot.
Yes. Full-time job.
That is a lot.
We get it.
So don't beat up on yourself, okay? But also, we're here to tell you, like, you are capable of more, and whatever you want for yourself is possible. Don't let yourself, that's a big thing, don't let yourself feel like you can't. And don't let other people
tell you can't. Don't. She about to go off.
Bro, I know, because I hate this. I don't like that outside noise, 'cause that's what it is. It's like a little bark, like a little dog. Like, bitch, shut up.
Literally.
Go outside.
Right. Bro, right. Because I feel like a lot of people get consumed by the outside noise too. Like, it can really weigh on somebody. Like, if you got people telling you left and right that you can't do something, you're gonna start to believe you can't do it. But that's when it's like, that's where it's like the power of yourself and the power of your mind really has to come forward and be like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be this big thing. I'm gonna do this big thing, whatever it is. But because it's like, it's like there's always gonna be fucking noise. There's always gonna be haters. Always. There's always gonna be people being like, oh, da 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 da. Like, all the time. It's really something you can't escape. People are gonna be mad for whatever reason.
People are always gonna have opinions.
Jealousy, opinions, like, it's just all that weirdo shit.
Just weirdo shit.
If I'm being honest, that's what it is. But that's when you really have to pull yourself forward, pull yourself out of that little abyss they got you in, and be like, no, like I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it for me and fuck everybody else because I matter. Like, right. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself.
Right. They're not living your life. You are.
Exactly. This is your life. Like, why would you care about what anybody else has to think about it or has to say about it? It's not, no. Because, obviously, they don't have a problem thinking about your life and, right. and like, speaking on it. No. Do it for you.
Yeah. It's really hard to, I understand, to, like, still believe in yourself and still feel like you can do something when there is a lot of that outside noise, because then your brain, like, subconsciously is going to start to pick out things in your life that prove them right. And if it's not people telling you that and it's yourself telling you that, in your brain you're going to be like, well, this fits that narrative and this fits that narrative, and like that makes total sense of why I can't do this. No, that's just the way your brain's programmed. Rewire that shit, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna try to play tricks on you, I feel like. Definitely. And I think you just really have to like positively shift your focus, your energy, and really bring yourself to like a higher position, a higher level, because you can't be on theirs. That's where you're gonna find yourself if you continue to listen to them and believe that you are something that you're not. You're gonna be right on the same energy flow as they are, but you need to be up here. Really though.
Right. Take that step back from that shit. And again, if that person is you, sit down with yourself and evaluate your situation. Like, really dive deep into that shit and face it head on. That's the only way things will change. No one else is gonna do it for you.
Nope, it's all about you.
It's all on you.
All about you, baby.
Self-care. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Self-care.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think this was a really good talk. I feel very much like enlightened from this. I think this was great.
Yes.
A lot of feels were felt. And
yes. A lot of feels were felt.
No, literally. What do we be saying?
No, I don't know. I hope that everything made sense. Like,
I know. I think from what I've seen and heard from you guys watching, I think you get us. Yeah. You understand us, even though we be talking some nonsense, but you get us. You get it.
Yeah. The ones that get it, get it.
Yeah, and the ones that don't. Wait, but like if this is like the last podcast, I feel like I need to like leave off on something. I don't want to get too deep into it, but like I just feel like, do I say goodbye? Like, what's happening? I don't even know. I don't know. Okay, it's like, it's so weird that it's already about to be a new year. I just feel like this year has honestly flown by, for me at least.
Yeah.
It was a strange year for me.
Really weird.
I don't know. It was like one of those years where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
I want to go on with I want to move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. As far as just like thinking about, us on here and you guys watching, and I don't know, I'm just very happy to be able to do this kind of stuff, because I've always said like it's something I never ever saw myself doing, because I used to be so fucking shy. Who the fuck would think I'd be sitting here talking to a camera and a microphone and sitting next to a person who's been in my life for a decade, and I don't know. I just never thought I'd see myself in this kind of position, but here I am, and I'm so grateful to be doing this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're both just super grateful.
Yeah.
Just for motherhood, for people watching, for the opportunity to even do this. Like, granted, we're not reaching thousands of millions of people yet. Yes. But to just be able to like show up and do this when there are obstacles, when there are things going on. There's been so many times we try to record, or things have happened, God. Or personally we're going through some shit. And
You're on a box.
Yeah.
You're on a box, Liz. literally.
Like, shit that goes on that's, like, basically, like, alright, maybe y'all should just, like, chill out. And we're like, fuck it, no.
No.
We're not gonna do that.
No.
Because we have things to do.
Bro, I just feel like there's been, like, sometimes months in between episodes, but we're still able to show up, and that's okay. Like, we've said before, life be lifing, and we live by that shit, and you know, I think a big thing of next year is gonna be that you're gonna be seeing us a lot more.
Yeah.
And because I feel like we've gotten to that position in our lives where we're like, okay, we can start really doing this shit. Like,
no, literally. I actually, one of those conversations I have with myself the other day was about the podcast. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of thankful it hasn't been consistent and that there has been space in between, like, us being present. Because now we're able to reflect on that and be like, all right, that's cool. But now we want more.
Yeah, no,
and
literally.
so you have to be grateful for, like, that downtime, for that time that you don't have it all together, because it's only showing you, like, all right, like, I think I got this.
Yeah.
I think I'm capable of doing more.
Yeah.
And so, again, back to the whole, like, gratitude thing. Being grateful for it all.
Oh my gosh. That's something that I, like, literally is one of, like, my morals, I think. Like, expressing gratitude is, like, one of the biggest, like, energy, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's just I feel like it's just, like, whenever I express my gratitude, God hears me.
Yeah.
Like, heavily. Like, the universe hears me. And as long as I'm able to express my gratitude, more things will come my way because I'm so grateful. And that's like that's just a really big thing that I live by all the time.
Gratitude cannot exist at the same time as doubt, as fear, as overthinking. Like, it literally chemically cannot in your brain. When you are in that gratitude thing, when people have gratitude journals or, like, you know, do these things that express gratitude, you're thinking about all the amazing things in your life and the things that you have and everything that you've done and the person that you are. You literally can't even really think about that other shit, about the things you're afraid of or you're doubting. It literally cannot exist in the same time in your brain. So be grateful for it all, good and bad.
Yeah.
It is doing you a favor.
Yeah. I think it happened the other week when I booked that job. You told me to journal right away. You were like, you have to go journal right now.
No, literally.
Because you were like, you're at your highest energy level or whatever, and I was like, you know what, you're fucking right. And I got off the phone with her and I immediately sat down and started journaling because I felt amazing that I just booked a job. And you're right, I wasn't thinking about doubt. I wasn't feeling overwhelmed. I wasn't feeling all the feelings that I felt in my downtime. I felt like I was at my highest point.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about all the amazing things that are going to come, that are going to happen, what has happened. So that's very true. But yes, be grateful for the good and the bad, though, because everything happens for a reason. So as long as you just continue to express that gratitude to yourself, to God, to the universe, everything will come your way because you are worthy of it.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening or watching us.
Yes.
Hello. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I always forget YouTube for some reason. At A Young MILF Podcast.
Yes.
And then our personals. I'm at Janni Rach.
And I'm at Rachel Anastacia. Thank you guys for tuning in this past year.
Yes.
And we love you very much.
I'm so excited for what's next, bro. Like,
a lot of exciting things.
The guests, the change of scenery, just like new things coming, possible merch.
I'm gonna be like possible merch.
Oh no. I'm so excited.
I know, me too. Okay. Alright, we love you guys so much. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, we're so cute.
I love us.
Me too.